GM fam, what's up? What's good? Welcome back to Behind the Avatar. Today we're doing another Metaverse Spotlight episode. So if you don't already know, which I'm sure a lot of you do, judging by the people in the chat, what up chat? I have Cody and Lozen in the house, and we're going to be talking about all kinds of things. They have so much going on. I've been digging through the website and Twitters and everything, and I'm excited to chat. It's going to be a long one, maybe. Who knows? I know I'm long-winded, but with being long-winded, I would like you guys to introduce yourselves to kick things off, and just give us a brief overview of what you guys are all about for people that are tuning in or catching the replay that don't know anything about you, and then we'll just kind of dive on into everything.
Yeah, that sounds great. Lozen, you want to go first? Say no.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm Lozen, and I'm the creative director for Tempest Studios. So, I kind of am the overall map builder with Cody on the projects that we take on and how we develop them inside the sandbox and outside of the sandbox. And kind of my specialty, or what I consider to be my purpose, is to find independent artists and work with them on bringing unique ideas and storytelling into the ecosystem. So that's kind of my bread and butter. Now, Cody.
Yeah. So I'm Cody Zine, CEO, co-founder of Tempest Studios, and Lozen and I work together all the time to talk about strategy for our clients or potential clients, bringing them into the sandbox or Web3 and or Web2, really. All the things, anything creative, how we can help build things that are fun, that don't suck. It's kind of what we do.
Build things that don't suck.
That's the goal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my motto. Just do cool shit with people who don't suck.
I think that's a great motto to live by. So you guys, okay, first off, we've had at least one episode with you guys, maybe two, I can't remember. So if you go back and catch the replay, you can kind of get a more in-depth overview of everything, because these guys got a lot going on that we're going to dive into. So we're not going to do like the deep dive of the overview stuff. But yeah, so go catch that replay. It's somewhere in the archives. If it's not in the archives, I'm sorry. I misled you, but we'll figure out where it is and I'll link it below. But can we just get like a quick elevator pitch of what Tempest Studios is like all about, as far, not all about, but like how long have you been Tempest Studios? Because this is kind of like a newer iteration of what you guys were doing before, or I can't remember. Am I making this up?
Yeah, no, you got it. So Tempest Studios, this is our 15th year as an official company. So obviously not all 15 years in Web3 space. We're going on our third year probably in Web3, but before that we did Web2 creative stuff also, right? So branding, design, marketing, videography, corporate level, like commercial stuff, but also filmmakers, we're storytellers, we're writers, we're artists, musicians. So we did all that on the side, nights and weekends too, with music and films and whatnot. So, we had our side hustles, we had our day-to-day corporate gigs and that sort of thing. And then jumping into the sandbox almost 3 years ago now, we still do some Web2 stuff, and we have printing capabilities, and there's not one without the other, I feel. But our main objectives right now are building just really cool experiences and avatar collections, assets in the sandbox and beyond.
Hell yeah. Are you guys, I mean, you just said and beyond, so sounds like it, but have you guys been exploring other metaverses to start building stuff in? Are you already building stuff in there that hasn't been talked about yet, or what's the situation with that? Because I'm always interested. I love the sandbox, but there's so much more out there, and I'm interested in what other people are kind of looking at as far as where they're going to be building next, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think
Go ahead.
do you, I mean, yeah, we love the sandbox and we love building in it. And for me personally, it's probably like the ecosystem that I would want to be in. I feel like it's the safest place to be. Um, and yeah, I can't find that stability and I don't feel confident in very many other ecosystems. Is there like the desire to build in other ecosystems? Yes, absolutely. Because I feel like we have a really, really great team and they're very well versed in building in all types of programs. And I'd like to be able to showcase like everything that we're doing in the sandbox. Being able to showcase that in another ecosystem would be absolutely wonderful. Um, so yeah, we are looking for the right partners to where we can explore those options. We don't want to just do that with anybody. But yeah, we are looking for the right partners as far as like outside of just Web 2 as well. Like, we have plans to get back into filming and how can we create animation using some of these technologies or using some of the sandbox design wise? Like, how can we create productions in that type of wheelhouse or
Hmm.
style or design. So we have a lot of different plans in store. Right now, it's mainly like just making sure that we have the right partners and setting up the team for success. I feel like if we kind of do it all at once, that it would spread us a little too thin.
For sure.
So I kind of like taking our time and really studying what it is that we're trying to do and making sure that we have approachable goals that we can reach.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great way to explain it. That there is opportunity outside of the sandbox, obviously, but spreading yourself too thin too early can lead to some not so good outcomes potentially. So I think that's a good sounds like a good strategy. You mentioned, and I just want to hit on it real quick because it pops in my head. I You mentioned something about um, different like media using sandbox assets maybe or something like that, and I just saw um, it was a somebody tweeted somebody is creating Fortnite like short story videos with the new creative 2 that they have out, and I thought that was super cool, and that like instantly I was like, you could definitely do something like that with the sandbox stuff as well. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys have thought of that with all of your background with movie creation and stuff, but
I
Yeah,
mean, here and
100%.
there. But I mean, I also think about it too. We're looking at social hubs and stuff, and um, a lot of where we're heading, like everybody wants to be a creator. They want to be a content creator. And that's pretty interesting, like how that's going to develop. So I think we're going to have a lot of this younger generation where they're super savvy and they're going to find ways to simplify and optimize storytelling. And that really excites me. But like, so much of the time what these creators are doing is they're going into a gaming environment and they're creating their own stories and they're recording them and then they're uploading them. My kids watch those all the time. So trying to keep those things in mind too whenever we're creating, like, is this something that someone would want to use as like a scene for something later, or yeah, those are things that we try to like think about too.
right. And like you're saying, with all the up and coming creators that are doing stuff like creating little short stories and stuff out of the games and stuff that they're playing, I feel like that is a great way for somebody with IP like you guys already have, to allow your community to help uh, crowd crowd market. I don't know if that's the right word, but crowd just get
Outsource.
yes, crowdsource. That's what I
Yeah.
was looking for. Crowdsource the marketing of everything, and getting the attention and the awareness out there, without all of it being on your back, which I think is super nice. And it's kind of like the Web3 ethos, and how a lot of projects have kind of catapulted themselves to success is by it reminds me a lot of like affiliate marketing, like like everyone that buys an NFT these days turns into an affiliate marketer, for that NFT, if and depending, and there's all kinds of other things that go into that we don't need to get into, that are kind of shady, but but depending on their motives. But that's essentially what you're kind of doing, is becoming an affiliate marketer for each of the different brands or projects or whatever that you're investing. So it's interesting, though, the way things kind of have played out. And it's like Web 2, the stuff that's like normal in Web 2 has like carried over to Web 3, but is just kind of like infused in different ways. But if you like break down what's actually happening, you're like, oh, that's affiliate marketing. Oh, that's Patreon, and oh, that's like
Exactly.
it's interesting. That's why I can't think of something that comes to mind, but I love when I find something that really does seem like they're thinking outside the box and creating something that really hasn't been done in the Web 2 world. Nothing comes to mind right now, but I know that there's there's plenty of stuff out there. But we're kind of getting in the weeds, and like I said, I already mentioned we have a ton to talk about with everything that you guys have going on. So, what do you guys want to start with? Because there's so much to break down. I guess
Yeah.
I could bring this. Nope, that's the wrong slide. Bring this up. So this is one of the tweets that I found. I don't know if you guys are following along on Twitch, but you can't see it
Yep. Yeah,
unless
we
you
see
are.
it.
Okay, cool. So this tweet I found. I don't remember when he posted it. Sometime in March, probably. But so I am assuming we can talk about any and all of these things on the show
Yeah.
today. Um, what do you want to start with? Because there's so much, and it's
There is
awesome.
so much. Lozen, what do you want to start with?
Um, well, I think the simplest thing is we can start with Lucid because that's a pretty new. I mean, um that's a pretty old game that we created, and that's essentially what kind of got me into the sandbox ecosystem with Cody. So we'll start there. What's going to happen with Lucid, Cody?
So we're kind of going back to it and revisiting it. Obviously, there's been. I mean, this game jam submission was a long time. It was like the fourth or fifth ever game jam. The very first game jam, you were able to do custom assets. So it's been quite a while. But we're going to go back and revisit that. We already have started to update it for the newer versions, especially 0.8.
Hmm.
Kind of I guess what the proper word would be, like a remastering,
Sure.
right, of
Yeah.
it, with 0.8 and lighting. And actually, because back then, um, you got a month to do a game jam, and I think this one even got pushed out a month and a half, but it was still not enough time. And we
That's
were
such a
pushing
short
boundaries
amount of
on,
time.
yeah, we were pushing boundaries on doing a side scroll, a 360 side scroll, and a deep story. So we were
It was
just
the first
going,
time too that like we could create our own assets.
yeah,
That was the big thing. So I think that's probably why it was delayed, is because the
yeah,
process
it had to be
of
approved.
approving those assets
Mm.
were wild.
But we
So
were
that
we were
played in
still
our favor.
careful. Yeah, we did, like, Lozen created the main character. I did the bad guys and that sort of thing. But we didn't want to do like a whole bunch of, because it was the first time, we didn't know what to expect. And sure enough, custom assets were a hassle and slowed things down. So we kind of looked out there, but we got top 10 with it. Everybody who played it loved it. It's, I think, our favorite game that we've created. So we're going back. Yeah, Go West reboot. It's a reboot, like a remastering. It's not a redo, right? But we're going back, updating everything, and yeah, we're gonna re-release it. It'll be fun.
Hell yeah. Do you know how long until people can expect to see that out? Or do you think you'll wait until I don't know. I'll stop there.
Yeah, so this is a subject that we will probably talk about several times with all of these projects, but we're working on submitting several different projects. We're working on both our own IP stuff and our client stuff to alpha seasons. And there, I won't get into the weeds of what they are, but there are some requirements that you must meet to be accepted or to be considered to be chosen, right? To be in an alpha season. And most of our experiences are ruled out from that just because we have it's a very deep lore, right? There's lots of quests and that sort of thing. So I don't have an exact date because we're kind of changing plans up, but we're working to get it good. But I definitely want to get it out this year. And yeah, we're gonna do. There's a trailer on the website. It'll change obviously a little bit. Actually, it'll change a lot of bit from 0.8. I've already started playing with lighting, and it's just. I mean, you guys know 0.8.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
wild. It's wild how much it changes things. I
Yeah.
remember just the first time I imported like the studio, which unfortunately we're not in because I can't get Streamlabs to cooperate with my game maker for some reason. But whenever I imported that over, I was like, geez, like this is what it can look like. That's awesome. So yeah, just judging by even I haven't watched the trailer or anything, but just judging by like the screenshots, I can imagine this is gonna look beautiful once you get it all fixed up and start using all the different lighting effects and stuff.
It's a fun one, yeah.
So that's gonna be fun to play for sure. What does I think you said 360 side scroller? Does that just like mean that you go like around the edges of the map, or I don't really understand.
You can go 360 degrees around the player.
So the camera setting is side scroll, but the camera's not locked. So you can still spin the camera on the horizontal axis. And the benefit of that, as you play, it actually has a story. It pertains to the story, and the gist of Lucid is it's a string theory, like double dimension kind of thing going on. And if you look at the map, and we can post things about it, but if you look at the map, every level you play is doubled. So if you flip the camera around to the other side, you see the exact same level, but it's mirrored.
That's cool.
So it then late as you get in, it becomes a puzzle because to solve it, you might not be looking the right direction, and you'd have to twist the camera around to go through the veil, as we say, across to the other
the
dimension.
whole time, like you're basically playing another alternate version of yourself that's on the other side of that wall. So you'll kind of see this version of you throughout the whole entire game on the other side of the wall whenever things are starting to like get a little weird.
That's cool. How confusing was that to create?
It was crazy. And you gotta this was like early sandbox, right? There were no presets at this point. So you know, every game jam we did back then, we wanted to push it differently. We had only done one other game before that, and it was the standard third person out of the box. And we're like, okay, let's do something different. Let's try this crazy side scrollish idea. Lozen had this cool idea for the story, and yeah, it was a crazy marathon. We had a month and then a month and a half, and it still felt like I couldn't breathe the whole time.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
And then she's like, we're not doing another one, and we're like, yeah, we need a break, and then they announce another game jam like Halo's, and here's the theme of the next game jam. Okay, okay, let's do it again. Like we love to just suffer and like stress out about things, I guess.
Well, I
Yeah.
think it's just like we like creating a lot and we like building things and we're really good at it. And even more so now, like our team is just fucking awesome. So, I mean, I don't know. That I mean, that's kind of how everything has always been with Cody and I. Like whenever we start working on things, like things just snowball and it gets bigger and it gets bigger and it gets bigger. So,
Yeah.
now that we have like a team and they're just as like passionate and hardcore as us too, like shit's real. Like, I mean, there's just so many phenomenal things that are going on in the back end that I wish we could talk so much about.
Yeah, I can only imagine. While we're on the subject, do you want to give a shout out to the team? I know some of the team members, but I don't even know if I know all of them. And put you on the
Um,
spot, so you don't miss out on anyone. But just if you want, because
yeah.
I
Yes.
feel like that's cool.
We have Nicole in here and Vivox, Dankoy, Cold Cuts. Did I say Vivox?
Yeah.
Civivox, yeah.
The box. We
I don't know if
have
anybody else is in here, but
Lullaby, Gun Gods, the box. Um,
Guillermo,
Guillermo, like
David,
hologram, David.
Uh,
Well, I'm using their other
Big
name.
Crooks.
Fake Crux.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have so
Ryan.
many
it gets
people on the
confusing when you
team.
need to
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
both name and pseudonym or whatever you want to
Right.
call it.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to all those guys, and if you keep thinking of more, obviously throw them out there. But I recognize almost all of those names, and I'm sure I would recognize even all of them if I actually saw their Twitter their Twitter PFP probably. But yeah, all very talented artists that I am sure is on my radar. Speaking of, and I've put this invite out to a few different studios that I've had on here, and I'll extend it to you as well. If you guys have any artists that you think would be fun to have on Behind the Avatar, just to get to know, please send them my way because I would love to start interviewing more artists that are working for people
Sure.
like yourselves, because it's cool to see these studios popping up and really growing, and all the talented artists that are joining the team. So just a little plug of Behind the Avatar.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
I would love that
I think that
too.
would be fun. So and it could be multiple at a time if that makes anyone comfortable. I know some people are shy on camera or whatever, but yeah, just throwing that out there. But back to your regularly scheduled program. We are breaking down Lucid. Is there anything more that we should go into on that one, or just stay tuned because it's going to be
Stay
fun
tuned. Yeah.
to replay through it once it's all remastered or rebooted or
Yeah.
what have you. Um, I'm okay. I'm gonna guide this one unless you have something you want to do. I'm super interested to learn more about this Titan stuff. Um, what the heck is it called? Titan
Titan
Rain?
Rain.
Titan Rain.
Mhm.
Rain.
Yes. Can we go there next?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Let's go there. It's probably the one that has the most conversation that needs to happen. But yeah, let's do it.
So quick 10-second overview of what Titan Rain is,
Yep.
because I have no idea other than the pictures I've seen, and the pictures look amazing. I'll share those in a second. Um, go.
Yeah. So Titan Rain is our next Tempest IP. It's our own story. It's our own characters. But essentially, the characters are Titans that build worlds, build universes. There are different factions, and throughout history, they work together. Each of them have like a core element that they're in charge of. But flash forward to today, Titans to get kind of greedy, and they're wanting to do everything for their own faction. So now there's this kind of eternal conflict between the factions, and the goal is we're going to have an avatar collection in the sandbox where you get to choose your faction or factions really, and play as your avatar. And that's kind of a step one, right? And then we have a crafting system that we're doing that will allow the holders of the avatars and their prospective torches to craft a badass armor set that they can use. And we're going to be doing tournaments, faction versus faction, in the sandbox, for prizes, which are more crafting materials, other cool things, and have a whole bracketed, kind of like an Olympics thing in this Titan world.
Nice.
And then eventually we'll do some narrative games and stuff too. Like, it's kind of like we treat all our IPs, right? It checks all the boxes with the avatars, the NFTs, the story driven stuff, the multiplayer driven stuff. But super excited about this. We did a keynote type of thing the other day, and this is the deck that we kind of shared. But
yeah,
it's super sweet.
Do you want me to scroll through it, or?
Yeah, you can scroll through it.
Yeah.
I can quickly touch on what we're looking at. I know there's probably a slight delay, so I don't know how well that will be, but if you just want to go through quickly. But yeah, there's six Titan factions. Some of you guys know, we've talked about. You've got the Surge, who are in charge of the electrical, lightning, and wind elements. They are the kind of lighter blues to mid dark blues. So you can see kind of a base concept of the avatars there, which are looking so cool.
Hell yeah, they're they're dope as hell. And then the torch.
And we have the torch. Yeah, every faction has their torch. The torch is what they need to use to light their Titan forges, and this is their kind of where their magical thing where they light it, and this is where they use to build everything. They craft the armor, they craft the worlds, all of that. And so there are torches associated with each faction, and that's an offhand sandbox equipable that we will be doing a drop as well. So those are kind of like the two key things. We have the avatars, which will be a bridged avatar, and then we have the torches, and those two components you need to hold in order to do the crafting.
Turn the sound alerts off for the show. I saw you like waiting. Saw you like waiting for it.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. But okay, so the torches, and you said it's going to be the offhand, so there will also be. Yeah. I'm probably getting ahead of myself because I already looked at these slides, but so there will also be like a weapon that people can craft. Yeah.
Yeah. There will be a main hand.
Okay. Dope.
So like this slide here is the armor set for the Surge, which is called the Stormborn armor. So it has the head, chest, arms, and legs. And then there will be a main hand you can equip, and there will be an offhand as well. So you can hold the torch if you want, but there will be a different offhand equipable.
Okay, cool.
And this is the Stormborn sword as the main hand.
And then moving.
Oh my gosh, I forgot Brian too.
I said Brian and Anna. No, I said Brian and Anna.
You did. I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. Then we have the Ember. So they are obviously the fire, obsidian, lava, the hot stuff.
Hell yeah.
And
these are cool too.
Yeah, they're super fun. So you've got the reds and the smoldering colors, oranges, and all the in-betweens. And they have their perspective torch and the Terra. So growth,
I'm just
nature.
Kind of slowly or quickly going through them, just so you know.
No, go through. We can touch real quick, and then we can ask questions.
Yeah. But just keep going.
So yeah.
Just helping with the delay.
Sure.
I don't know how delayed it is on you, but it seems like you're right on. So keep on.
I think
keeping
so.
on.
Yeah, I'm watching it. So Terra, which really cool. So we've got the green, the browns, and that sort of thing going on.
I like the green. That might be my favorite.
Yeah. The green is pretty sweet. And then the Terra torch, and all these torches have just badass animations as well. These photos don't really do it justice, but
Is
we've got
there
the Fathom.
is there a
So
video? You sent a video. Was the video of the torch? No.
that is something
That's
else
something
that no
else.
one's seen
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then. I mean, we can show it later if you want, but
Yep.
forget I said that for now.
No worries. And then the Fathom are also blue, so they're darker blue, and they are water, right? So they are
Okay.
all of the water and that sort of thing. And the reason behind that, what we said on our previous stream was, um, we wanted kind of an origin story for Tempest Studios, like the name, and in the lore of the Titans, the Surge and the Fathom actually keep with their normal duties, and they join forces to ward off the other factions that are trying to take all the forges for themselves. And so together, their alliance is the Tempest. That's what they're called collectively. So
Okay.
you have the storm and the water and the wind, which is the definition of a tempest. So they're kind of joining up, which is why they're all blue, but they're different shades. So
Gotcha. Is this the first of
yeah,
the blue? I forget what we've seen.
we did the first
No,
one.
the
The
first one.
surge
The
was
first one, Surge.
the
Yeah,
lighter
yeah.
blue. Yeah.
Yep. And then we got the torch.
Yep.
Also is
The
cool.
torch
These
for
are all
that
sweet.
one.
And then we
Pretty
got
sweet.
I don't know how to say that.
Oh,
Auroral.
the auroral. It is a difficult
Auroral.
word. Yeah. So the auroral are a kind of the ultimate beings. They're kind of the overseers, like, making sure things were okay. So they're not so much the workers, but they are in this conflict as well. But they are the gold, the white, the kind of angelic type of thing,
Hmm.
which look super sweet. Thank you, Half Dork. Appreciate that. A Wind Rainbow, I know, Huddle Hill. And then the Auroral Torch, which is super badass. Also,
Hell yeah. It's almost got like, is
it
that
is.
wings? Is that
Yeah,
the goal of
It is
that?
very angelic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like that.
that's kind of drawing from that inspiration. So all of that said, if you go to the next slide, what is the opposite of that, right? We need the darkness,
Yes.
the evil. So the obscurum are the purples, the dark blacks, that sort of thing. But they are the ultimate
Ooh,
evil.
I like that.
Yeah, they are pretty sweet.
I like the contrast of the black with the purples.
Yeah.
Dope. You guys did
Yeah.
really good on these.
Thank you. That is all Leale, actually, early on. Everything you see in this deck is Leale right now. It's just been working with me on this
Oh yeah.
project.
Shout out.
And, yep. So shout out Leale. And yeah. And Half Dork switching to Obscurum.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I like the green, but now I like this.
I'm gonna make several teams and just run a roster of different teams and hope we don't have to play our own team, right?
Yeah.
We'll figure out the way that works. But yeah. Obscurum is super fun.
See if you can run two PCs at the same time and
right.
That'd be impressive. Whoa, that's a cool torch too.
Yeah, the torch is sweet. This armor set is really they're all badass in their own way, but there's something about the Obscurum armor set that no one has seen yet, and they won't for a little bit, but it's fantastic.
Oh yeah. And then we move on to the crafting, which you touched on a little bit, which I think is super cool.
Yep. So that's really the core thing right now, right? Is the crafting, because the armor sets and the equipable, like the sword and the offhand, will never ever be for sale. The only way to get it is by crafting it, unless somebody was silly enough to sell it on the secondary, right? Once they crafted it, but it will only be by crafting, which goes into the lore of the story, which is why we wanted to kind of do that direction.
Where's the crafting at? I'm moving too far forward, but I'm just
no worries. These are all just kind of showing.
I know there's a slide. Okay, so you have to, sorry, I got scatterbrained. You have to craft the torch. Is that what you said?
So the torch will be a drop. We will have those for sale, so you'll have to pick one up, and basically, you'll that's kind of where you're choosing that in the avatar collection, right? You can see what you get, and then you can buy the one you really want if you didn't get the one you wanted, right? Because it will be random.
That was gonna
But
be my
yeah,
next question. Is it gonna be
yeah,
random? Okay, cool.
yep, random. And then you buy the torch, and then as long as you keep those in your wallet, you will be able to earn these crafting regions in a number of ways. Which Slide will talk about that by craftering it. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, half dark. Um, so then there's gonna be surge fragments, surge shards, and surge stones.
Yeah, or there's that type of fragment and shard and stone for every faction, right? So there'll be obscurum's fragment, obscurum shard, and so on and so on.
Gotcha.
And those are what they actually look like. These three crafting elements will not be. They will be eventually. They'll be sandbox assets, but they are basically animated two-dimensional NFTs on OpenSea minted on Polygon, and that's how that will be handed out until the sandbox has in-game transactions and wallet connection,
Gotcha.
which then will switch things over. But for now, it's a little bit of a manual process, but it's pretty straightforward.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so then 3 fragments equals a shard.
Yep. And
2 shards equals a
um,
stone.
yep.
Following 2 stones equals a piece of armor.
Yep.
And that's any of the pieces?
Yep.
Okay.
All of them are the same for all the factions and all the pieces of armor. We want to make it really easy to follow. But at the same time, like that's a lot of materials needed to craft stuff. So we don't want it to be like, oh, I'm done. Like you want to work towards it, and you know these tournaments will do. You'll have people on both sides of the competing teams that won't have complete sets yet because it's so
Mm-hmm.
early, right? So one might have they chose their helmet first, but they don't have anything else, right? But
Right.
the winning team gets some of these crafting materials. Like I just need one more piece, and then I get to craft this, right? So it's going to have that just really fun
Heck yeah.
aspect to it for these tournaments type of thing.
Yeah. No, I like that. That's a cool um I don't know if a twist is the right word, but twist is what I'm going to use that
Yeah,
I haven't really seen done yet, which I like. That it just adds to the excitement of what you're earning
for
while you're
sure.
playing, and then you can go on and create it and turn it into other cool things, which is so super cool. Um, okay,
Definitely.
so what's this? Oh, this is just
That's just showing
the
everything
the
on one
big the
slide
big
now.
breakdown. Yep, got
Yeah,
it.
so we'll do a couple of these with the different pieces as our kind of crafting recipes, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
still working on the website for the Titans, but you'll be able to go and look it up. Even though the recipe's the same, right? We'll have it, so you at least have a reference for it.
Sure. So what is my math is just great. 3, 6, 9, 12.
It's
So
on
you,
the bottom in
oh
small
yeah,
and
yeah.
small numbers too.
Small, and I'm looking at the wrong screen, so it's even smaller. Okay, so technically you need 12 fragments to create one piece of armor, right? I'm doing that right.
Yep.
Cool. And then how many pieces of armor are there?
There's so head,
Head.
chest, arms,
Chest.
legs, main and offense, 6
Okay.
total. Yep.
Legit. How to obtain
Yep.
materials. Good information
Yep.
here.
Yep.
How?
So how? Right. So we'll be doing one way that's kind of an always going thing will be our live stream channel points. So when Lozen and I stream from the Tempest channel, you get loco points by watching, just like you're getting crafters points here. Um, so very soon, we're working on all the details of the redeeming and all of that, but very soon you'll be able to cash those points in for crafting materials just by watching the streams, right? So we stream our stuff, we stream client stuff. Sometimes we stream on the weekends when we're yelling at our kids and playing PvP games, right? You never
Right.
know, but you can get stuff just by hanging out.
I like that.
um, participating, right? And then we'll be doing, periodic, pretty regular giveaways on our social channels and on the streams themselves, in addition to the channel points, where we'll give away some crafting materials as well, that kind of thing. And then we're going to be working with all the other SandFam streamers to kind of allocate a certain amount of things for them to do giveaways on their channels, to kind of help each other cross promote,
Mm-hmm.
support each other, that sort of thing. And then the last way will be obviously the tournaments, right? We'll have really big prizes for the winning team and a whole leaderboard. Think fantasy football, like bracketed down to, like you see people in chat like, oh, I want to do Terra or I want to do Obscurum, and you build your team. We're still working on the numbers per team type of thing, but yeah, you sign up your team on a roster and we go to town, and then top team will win something, probably second and third. We'll have to work all the final details, but
Is
big
the
prizes.
is the team, um would that be all all of each of the factions, or like a smaller, are you thinking like a smaller team, like I have a group of 5 people I want to compete
Right.
with. That's kind of what you're
It
saying.
would be a 4 to 5 team, like you sign up the team.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
that
But
is
they
a
all.
very good point. Because they are the same faction, we're going to work on a secondary, I don't know, a point system, some way that, even though, like, if let's just say Terra, right? Let's say you had a Terra team and you guys won first place.
Yeah, yeah.
All the other Terra teams, they didn't win, they didn't place, but because you share the same faction, the faction will also have a point system, and those will allocate and total up as well. So there will be
Yeah.
these other kind of milestone goals to reach that will reward the faction as a whole.
Ooh,
So
I
you're
like
kind
that.
of
Like
working it out.
Hogwarts houses
Yes, exactly.
style points or whatever they give them. Haven't
Yeah.
I've been out of touch with my Harry Potter lore for a while, but yeah, that's cool. I really like that. So it's like
Yeah.
or not individual, but small teams. But then there's also the whole big team that you're also working with. So that's super cool. So
Yeah.
the just to clarify, which I think you've already clarified, but I'm gonna do it one more time. The small teams, they would all have to be the same faction, though.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you do the team, that's why I won't be able to decide. I'm really gonna run with multiple. But yeah, if you're setting up a team, you have to do the same faction for that team, right? And then if you hold an Obscurum as well, then you just make an Obscurum team
Right.
and
Right.
enter. Yeah.
Okay. I'm very interested. I mean, I was already pulled in, but now that I'm learning more and more, I'm like, ooh,
I'm so excited.
yeah,
I'm ready to do this.
yeah, this is gonna be super cool. I'm not gonna even bring it up. I hate bringing up timelines right now, because who knows. But let's go on to the next slide because I think
Yep.
there's more. Okay.
Yeah, a couple more.
So how to craft? Okay, so you're gonna
Yeah.
send the materials to you
Right.
guys.
So, like I said, it's a manual process for now, but we have the Titan wallet already set up. All of the crafting materials are minted and they're ready to go. But yeah, if you've obtained 3 fragments, you send all 3 fragments to us. You'll fill out a simple form, letting us know that you did that, and then we will send you whatever you're crafting. Right. So in this case, for this example, you send us 3 fragments, we'll send you back a shard, and so on and so on.
Uh-huh. That makes sense. Is there a cap, or I don't know if that's the right word either, but you said that they're all the materials are already minted, so is my head's like
So
spinning as how to ask this question. I think you know where I'm going
no,
though.
I can make this really easy for you. So
Yeah.
the way in which we're crafting here is, it's because they're sending it to us, it's not destroying the crafting ingredient. So if you look at the numbers that are minted, it would not be enough for everyone to all craft armor.
That's
right?
what I was trying to
Which
get
is not
to figure
that's
out
not the
is
point. Like, it'd be cool to make it scarce, but that's not the point. The point is you're doing the time and effort to craft and earn those regents. So right now it's recyclable. So you send us those three, they're not being destroyed. They're just going back in the bank, right?
Sure.
And then we send them back out. So there's no rush for that other than if you wanted to be the first one to craft something. And,
Right.
because
Right.
of the
Right.
armor, it will have perks, right? So when you have the legs that might have speed that help you run and jump, that could very, very much help your advantage in the tournaments, right?
Hmm.
So there is that real aspect to the equipment having functionality.
Will all the stats be released before crafting starts, or is that going to be a mystery as to what they're going to be?
It will no, it will be released.
Okay.
We'll show what it looks like. We will show what they are. The thing about the sandbox, though, as you know, is um, even though we're choosing the same gem slots for all the pieces for all the factions, so it's fair. What we can't control, as you know, is when we
Hmm.
mint it, it's random. So there might be, if we mint Terra armor set, they might have a really crappy roll for the legs, but maybe their helmet is like, holy crap, it's like a perfect roll. And so there's going to be that natural balance of things. So that plus your skill as a player and learning the courses and stuff will ultimately be in teamwork. It's going to be the tournament's going to be really depend on a great team and communication.
Hell
A
yeah.
lot of elements to it.
Yeah. 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 So there certain are we calling them factions? Is that's where my
Yeah.
head keeps
Yeah. They're
going. So
factions.
certain factions might have OP one gear, but then the other faction might have a really good leg gear or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I like that.
And we have
And
no way to
that
control
makes
it.
that,
So
yeah. That's
yeah.
fun. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully one faction doesn't get lucky on all of them.
Yeah.
Or maybe hopefully it does happen and it's my faction. Um, but yeah, that's a cool little feature. This is just more of how the
Yeah, it
crafting.
shows the whole process. It's a PDF. The PowerPoint presentation's animated, so it stair steps through the whole process. This is kind of confusing to look at all at once, but yeah.
It's getting the job done though.
Um,
So we've already
yeah,
talked about the
yeah,
tournaments, but this is a good little overview. So there's gonna be like speed runs, parkour, hopefully deathmatch. I would
yep,
imagine eventually that'll be a thing. Um, leaderboards, major prizes. Yeah, but I
yep.
can't. Why can't? Oh, bragging right. Like, am I? Am I blind?
Mhm.
Hell yeah. Um, and I like how you mentioned that it's gonna revolve around teamwork because I think I mean, that's what's gonna make the sandbox fun. I mean, obviously there's single player games that will be fun too, but multiplayer that's leveraging uh, teamwork aspects, I think, is what's gonna really take games to the next level. So that's super cool. And I wouldn't expect anything less from you guys, but um,
Oh, thank you.
yeah, that's awesome. Are we at the end? We are at the
I
end of that.
think that's the end of the deck. Yeah,
Unless I click off of it. Maybe. Nope. Yeah, that's the end. Sweet.
yeah.
Um, okay. I didn't take as much notes as I probably should have. Titan Olympics. You mentioned that. Is that like something that you think like? Is that how they're all going to be structured? Is kind of like the fact. It's always going to be faction versus faction. Yeah.
Right, right.
Okay. So yeah.
It
So
will
like
always be faction.
that makes sense
And we
then.
want it to be like we want these tournaments to feel like you pick your team early on and then you literally train, like you get ready for this. It's not just we're just going to show up and kick ass. Like, no, you need to prepare for this, not just do your crafting, like participate, get those rewards, but work together as a team to we'll reveal the gameplay mechanics of the tournament so that you'll be able to practice that type of thing together before like the tournament starts. But we want it to be a big deal, and then really market it in a way where we can all join like this and watch live and
Hell
have
yeah.
us in the experience watching from the sidelines too
Uh huh.
as it's happening. So we want like a big event, so more periodic than the real Olympics are, but to have that kind of grandiose, epic tournament
Yes.
type of thing.
I already am excited for just watching it, and if you guys ever think that you maybe want an announcer or something, I would be very interested in that because that
Yeah,
would
oh,
be fun.
absolutely.
I've always wanted to do color commentary for sports, so this is probably the closest I'm gonna get. But I think that would be super fun. Um,
Definitely.
totally. Um, wow. Okay. So that was a whole lot, guys. I see you guys in the chat. Like you guys know, I can't keep up with all of your comments, but thank you guys for for throwing things out there. It looks like you guys are pretty pumped about this stuff too. Have you guys been talking about this out in the open for a little while now? I haven't been able to catch you guys' streams lately.
It's been a couple weeks now. We revealed the logo with the first video, and then we showed that deck live, and we talked about all the stuff we were kind of working on. So
Sweet.
we've gone into a little more detail just talking to you tonight than we have, I think,
Cool.
in any of the stuff we have. And then the other things I sent you are things that no one has seen yet. The Titan visuals.
Okay.
Yeah,
The 4 or 3
3 and the 1. Yeah.
in the video. Is that what
Yeah.
we're talking about? Do
Yep.
you want to reveal any of that right now?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do
wait,
it.
actually, before we go to that, and correct me if I'm wrong because I can't find where the list was, but we are going to do some giveaways on this show,
We are.
per usual. And was one of them a crafting material or something? Because I
Yep,
feel like this would be
we
a good
are.
time to talk about that. Okay, so yeah, okay, I see here now. So that's is that a Titan fragment?
It's a fragment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's non-specific to a faction right now, because when we actually give it to you, we will ask whoever the winner is which one they're going to want, right? Because we don't want to send you like an Ember if you're not going Ember faction, right? So we have you down on the list. Whoever wins the fragment will get you the right faction.
Beautiful. So for this fragment giveaway, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat for you guys that have tuned in the last couple of shows. You know how this goes. For those of you that haven't, and are catching this live, obviously, if you're catching the replay, it's too late. Sorry. But if you're catching it live, I'm going to copy this link and paste it into the chat for y'all. Go ahead and fill that form out. You don't need to fill out the form for every giveaway that we do for this specific show. Just fill it out once. And there's going to be 3 different giveaways that we're going to do. So the part of I should just pull this up so you guys can see it. Part of, maybe this is too confusing. We're going to figure out a way to do giveaways, and I don't know if I like this, but this is what we're doing right now. You need to go to, that's really small. You need to go to the Discord, and this is all outlined in that form. So when you're filling it out, make sure you pay attention to the bottom couple things, because it tells you what to do. But you're going to need to go into the Discord, and there will be giveaways popping up in there throughout the show. You do have to have filled out this form. So if you don't fill out the form and you just enter the giveaways in the Discord and you get selected and you're not on the form, we will re-roll it. So make sure you do both, please. But yeah, and just drop questions in the chat. And I know that there's people that know what's going on, so they'll be able to help you if I'm not paying attention to the chat. But go fill that out. I'm going to pop the giveaway for the fragment in there right now, and I'm going to set it for 10 minutes. So we'll know who wins this fragment in about 10 minutes. So that'll give you guys some good time to figure it out if you're having issues. And it should be going live right now. Oh, and you guys
Sweet.
can see. Cool. Okay, so that one should be live. Boom. And now we are going to casually transition back over to the Titans.
Yeah.
So, do you want to Which one do you want me to start with? The gold one?
So we
Okay.
can show the images. So what we're about to show image wise are some early looks at what the actual NFT for the Titans will be when you mint them. So it's the 2D one, right? And they will be bridged. So whatever you see in your 2D will be what you play as in 3D in the sandbox. So these are some early sneak peeks of 3 of the 6 factions.
Gotcha. So this is the NFT that you'll be getting.
Yeah.
That then
the NFT.
that then translates into the sandbox for your avatar.
Yep.
You want me to pull it up?
Yeah, do it. Go
Oh
for
yeah.
it.
All right. So this one is the gold one, which is Aurora.
Auroral. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
And then
So the Auroral.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no. So I want you to take note of the detail. So the detail of these avatars is in the fine details, right? Because it's not an avatar collection that has like different glasses or different headwears. Like it's in the substance of the bodies themselves. So just pay attention to the placement, and some of the bodies have more hard parts than the glowing middle parts and that sort of thing. I have proper words for that, but we'll just leave it really easy for now.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
So the avatars aren't all going to be the same.
Correct. They will be random. So like this Aurora, for instance, right? You might have the way it's broken down, and I guess we'll really get into it. But if you think of it in a fractional sense, right? We have almost 100% where it's for this one that darker shell looking thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where all the body pieces are almost completely covered in that, and you barely see the lighter glow underneath, all the way to 3/4 covered, half covered, a fourth covered, almost none of the shell, and it's all glow. So each of those body pieces will be mixed up. So you might have like a 1/2 head, a full body, a fourth arm, and none on this side. So it's going to be all random.
Cool.
So it's a very, very organic kind of Titan energy feel across all of them.
Heck yeah, I like that. So they will look very unique when a bunch of them are standing next to each other.
Exactly. And there's multiple colors slightly for each faction. So two color variations for each. So there will be slightly detail in that regard too.
I love that. And I'm gonna move over to this next one, which also looks dope. And this is
the Ember.
Very little.
So this one's 1/4. I think these are 1/4 parts. So there's only a fourth of the hard substance there, and the essence is kind of glowing through. And what's really cool that you'll see the difference. Well, you kind of see the difference between the two, but Lele and actually Gun Gods now is helping with the actual Avatar collection. But each of these, other than being color different and the design different, the faces actually have different characteristics per faction. So if you remember back to like the deck, just looking through that, they're what would be the eyes, like what we as humans would call eyeballs, right? Where the eye sockets are. Those will be different and be different characteristics to each faction as well. And if you go to the third one, you can really see what I mean by that.
Oh, that's neat.
So that's a surge. So yeah, they all have their own personality for the avatar. So really excited.
And this one, the surge one, is barely covered. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a full or whole, as we call it. So you barely see the essence underneath, just little bitty voxel holes in different places. Yeah, so major difference between the first two.
That's cool. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm understanding. So the facial features are gonna vary as well as the covering.
Yep.
Of the avatar. And is there anything else that'll vary on the body, or is it the face mainly, and then the covering of all of the body, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, because we're working with, I mean, you guys know how small like voxels are, and on the avatar, right, the arm. So because an avatar collection, like we can't unlock it to add nodes and stuff. So we're very, I would love to have had like the Terra have more detail to look like plants and stuff, but we're really
Mm-hmm.
limited on just doing the blocks. So they're all different, but the face, because it is a face, I think that's why, is really where you see that personality.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense. I mean, that's where
Yeah,
that's where personality lives, right? At least a
yeah.
big part of it. Um, okay, these are dope, and now I just don't know, and I feel like I'm going to definitely be playing it the way you're planning on as well, and having multiple different factions. Maybe I'll try and collect them all, because why not, you know?
Pretty cool.
But yeah, these are super cool. Um, what time? Okay. It's like we're spending a lot of time on this, but this kind of is like the
It's the
one of the
biggest, newest thing. Yeah,
bulkiest newer ones. Okay, cool.
yeah.
Um, is there anything else that you want to spill on these bad boys before we move on to? I definitely have a few other things I want to pick your guys' brain about, but um,
I think the video is the last thing. So this is another. This is a really big reveal. So in the slide deck, we showed the Surge armor, which is called the Stormborn armor set, and now we have a rough. It's not rough. It's not. I don't have sound or anything on it. I'm going to be doing that up, but it's a nicely animated visual of the Ember armor set, which is called the Everburn armor set, and so we should have a visual for that complete set that's animated that no
yes,
one has seen yet,
except for me.
except for you. Yep.
And it's dope. So drum roll, please. Let's get this going. And you said there's no sound or anything, so I don't gotta
There's no
worry
sound.
about that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Check this out, everybody. That's insane.
Oh, that's pretty
It
wild.
is.
I love I really like avatars and all the different things that obviously that avatars can look like, but the armor and gear sets and stuff like that, and stuff that Kay's been doing, just like it's so cool, like to see the I think, and I could be wrong, but I just I have a feeling that the wearables are going to be a hot commodity in the foreseeable future. Um, at least that's where I'm placing my bets. Because
Definitely. Yeah.
For sure.
yeah, I think that's just like I feel like that really plays into people's buying habits, where
Yeah.
because I mean that's what we do in real life. We buy T-shirts and different merch and everything
Yeah.
to show off what we like, and to flex that we have a Gucci purse, or I don't know if that's what people flex with, but that's the first thing that popped in my head, and I probably only know of Gucci because of fucking the other side and doing stuff with that. But but yeah, I think wearables are going to be a big deal. And though that fucking set right there is going to be sweet. And let's reiterate how everyone's going to get that. The only way to get the entire gear set is by crafting it, by using the
Yep.
fragments that turn into the shards, that turn into the stones, that
Stone.
turn
Yep.
into the equipment. Look at me.
Yep.
I've been paying attention,
Did it?
and
See.
super cool. Um,
Yeah.
yes, I I know lots of purse stuff. Escape room. Um, so okay, I feel like I could just like keep going and asking more and more questions about this, but I also do want to get into some other things. So I feel like you guys definitely spilled enough beans on all of this stuff, and we'll definitely have you guys back on the show whenever you guys are getting closer to
Oh yeah.
getting this out
Yeah.
to the public, so that we can really dig deep into it. But and I don't want to keep you guys on forever tonight. Um, so the next, well, you tell me, you guide where, what should we move on to? Because there's, I'll tell you a few things that I'm interested in that I would definitely want to talk to you about. Is I want to talk about the Metaverse Masterclass, because I think that's super
Yeah.
cool that you guys are doing. And we already talked about monochrome a bunch on the last episode, so if we don't get to that, that's okay. But there is, I know you guys have done quite a bit since the last time we talked about that, so we can definitely talk more about that. Because wait, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because I didn't realize this, you guys have like a list of like 4 or 5 different games that are coming out for that, yeah?
On monochrome. Yeah, yeah. It's okay. We can do masterclass and then we can touch on a couple monochrome things. That's
Okay,
totally
okay,
fine.
cool, cool.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Because actually, I think we might. Well, no, we can't really talk about that yet. Never mind. Um, we'll
Yeah,
talk
not that
about
part yet.
Metaverse Masterclass though, really quick. One of the people that are new to the team, well, they're not really new to the team. They've been with us for a while, but not very many people know about it, is Roman Punks.
Mm,
They're part of the Tempest team, specifically Metaverse Masterclass, and Dan Coy is also heading up a lot of that. Um, but what I'm kind of most excited about is like taking Metaverse Masterclass and um, also doing like school tours where we're going to
yeah.
different schools and showing them how to use it. And then kind of also going back to what I was talking about earlier is like um, teaching like how do we do branding, how are we doing marketing, how are we creating ecosystems, working with other experts in their fields and creating these courses to share with everyone, so we can go into the sandbox or into these ecosystems and making sure that we're creating successful IPs with those. So that is um, what I'm most excited about for Metaverse Masterclass is just exploring all of those different things and teaching people how to be self-sufficient.
Have
Um,
have you already started discussion with any schools or anything? Do you, or no? Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
How's that going?
schools are kind of, it's actually really great. Before COVID, we were asked to be film teachers at UTA. And,
Nice.
we kind of like decided, no, we're not going to do that. And a big reason was like we felt if we were teaching that it would take away from us creating. And the this space is actually giving us a perfect platform to teach um, and still be able to create and create an entire ecosystem where I wasn't able to do that with Cody at UTA. That knowledge, that information, that was all going to be in one spot, and we wouldn't be able to share that with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to bring, kind of that level of transparency of what we're doing, kind of show, everyone can do it in a school setting. And now schools are like, all right, we'll let you go ahead and teach those things in our classes, because a lot of communities I feel right now, um, especially here in Texas, like the city of Grand Prairie specifically, one of the board members or city council members, we were having a conversation. He was like, I think education is really big, but there's also, people out there that do things differently, like you guys are doing, that kind of make their own way. There are other industries that you can get into that don't require 4-year college degrees. Like we need to be looking at these trade schools too. And I think that's kind of where Web3 and the metaverse kind of fits in there.
100%.
So he was very interested in what we were doing. And a lot of people, I feel like, in the education realm are very, very curious. So that's kind of really, really exciting as well. And the medical industry, too. You'd be surprised how many people are really interested there. But yeah, we've got all kinds of people that are in the education industry wanting to
That's
know more.
yeah, no, that's exciting, and I I especially love what you said that one of those guys had said about there's different avenues other than having to go to college to develop a career, and this is one that literally is free. Well, I don't know how, like, obviously maybe some courses and stuff are going to cost a little bit of money, but not what going to college costs. That's for damn sure.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and I've always had a weird, not weird, just a strong opinion about how we just kind of funnel everyone into the college system, and I don't know if that's still the way that schools operate. I don't have kids or anything, and I haven't been paying attention to how what high schools are doing or anything. But like that, whenever I was going to school, like that was like literally the option. It was like, what are you gonna do after school? You're gonna go to college, or you're gonna go get a job in like a mechanic or something. I don't like I lived in kind of a
A
smaller town
trade.
too,
Yeah.
but yeah, like a trade. And that's not all that there is out there for you, but that's all that you're really exposed to, and so like you just naturally are just funneled into one of those two directions, and it takes a long time. Like for me specifically, like I went to college for well more than 4 years. Um, I went to college for like 5.5, and just did the college thing, and then after that, I bopped around from job to job and was like, I don't like any of these jobs, and then eventually I started meeting people that were more entrepreneurial and kind of like shifted my perspective on like how I could actually generate income, and it didn't have to come from some working for somebody else. I could work for myself, and I think that just it needs to be talked about more, and I think this is a great platform for that. Obviously there's all kinds of other ways that people can do things, but this is an exciting one that I think it seems like you guys have really set up. I haven't gotten to see the actual class stuff, but just from scrolling through the website and stuff, it looks like you guys have a killer platform that people are going to be able to come to. And I guess I could switch over to so I can at least show a little bit of what the website looks like. But
Yeah, it's actually really cool now. The platform's been updated. It's much different than the original class. So this is actually gamified. And whenever I say that, I mean like whenever you're going through and answering your questions, you have some questions that are just for like 1 point to make sure that you're going through the courses, you're retaining the information that you're receiving. And then there are some options for like bonus points. So you'll get like double XP, and those points can then be turned in exchange for NFTs, things that can help you with your world building. Um, and then something else that, I'm also looking at is number one, like I'm glad that you mentioned the cost thing. Those are things that like I'm constantly looking at, like what information do I just put out there for everyone to have. I want to make sure that everybody has access to that information. So and I don't want there to be, a high paywall for that.
mhm.
So that's one of my big focuses is making sure that we can do that for everyone, um, and also create some interesting incentives too. Like if I want to have a game jam. And I want people that have gone through those courses to submit to that game jam. I'm working with real estate agents in the
Mm,
metaverse. I'm working with different groups, seeing about placing the alumni's experiences if they win a game jam in those areas or on the map so they can turn around and incentivize. There's a lot that we have in store that's coming, so I'm really excited about that part too.
yeah. No, that's cool. Do you have I say this every time I bring it up, so sorry to put you on the spot with timelines, but do you do you have a projected timeline? I feel like this is more in your guys' control than other things. So do you have more of a timeline on when people could start expecting to be able to go through the program?
Yeah, so like Wilson said, this we've completely redone the platform and the curriculum, and so the process of obviously doing that is pretty extensive. But that aside, there are several things happening right now that we can't talk about, that we can't reveal, that are uh, going to steer the answer to that question one way or another pretty drastically. Um, and that's all positive things. So, um, once we get a little further along with what I'm talking about, we can start revealing
Okay.
that. But we're working through our roadmap for Vox Edit courses, for Game Maker courses, for intro into sandbox courses, type of thing. And yeah, we're working on getting that developed and launched. But the platform's super cool. As Lozen said, you get points for watching stuff. Another cool thing that I'm really excited about is when you complete a course, you get a badge, which is actually a verified credential that is tied into your wallet. So, and it's
Nice.
built into any browser. So, kind of like a diploma, but it's not a piece of paper. It actually goes with you everywhere, and it's becoming more and more adopted in the education space, not just Web3 in general, but just education as a whole in the entire world. There's this standard that they're using, to show, like, well, what does a Bachelor of Arts mean? Well, I specifically did these sandbox courses, and I'm a certified game developer, and I have all these badges to prove it. So I'm really excited about that aspect, so that people can go and take the courses and then get jobs and get work, and you know
It's
make
a
something
lot
of
more
themselves.
transparent that way than
Yeah.
just like relying on like thinking from like somebody from a hiring perspective. Like, yes, you can read somebody's resume and it says that they have all of these things, but it's pretty tough to look into if they actually have all of those things,
Right.
or at least time consuming. So yeah, that I feel like that'll solve a lot. One thing that popped in my head, and maybe you've thought about this, maybe you haven't. What happens if somebody gets hacked in that wallet? Then I don't know. Like, would the badges get drained from that wallet, or are they not actual like drainable things? They're just linked.
I They are soul bound,
Soulbound.
or
Okay,
that
so
might
it's a
be the right word,
soulbound.
but
Okay,
they're
yeah,
soul bound. But if that is the case, being as they are an alumni, there are many other ways. It's kind of like our own KYC,
sure.
because they've signed up for the course. We'll have that, and we can
They
get
can
it
just
to
come to you
them.
and be like, "Hey, I'm using this wallet now. Can you transfer my credentials
Right.
over to this wallet?" Kind of
That's
thing.
no issue. But yeah,
Yeah,
it is soul bound, so they won't be able to transfer around, which is another cool aspect of it.
yeah, and I guess they wouldn't. They would actually like it would only make sense for them to be soul bound. Otherwise, you could take a bunch of courses and then sell your course
Right.
credentials to somebody else. Or, I mean, I guess you could sell your wallet to somebody else, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's getting
There's
it.
a will, there's a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
getting the weeds. There's always ways around everything, but this is definitely solving a problem for majority of the solution. At least, obviously, there's always going to be bad actors and things like that,
Right.
but that's super cool. Is the I got distracted because I was trying to find it on your website. There for people that are interested in this. I see it here now. Let me pull it up. You can go to the website and just scroll down just a little bit and sign up for put your
Yep.
email in here and subscribe and everything, and to stay up to date on when things are starting to roll out. I would assume is what
Yep.
what
Exactly.
you'll use that for. Oh
Do
yeah,
that and follow the Twitter. But yeah, we'll be sending out emails about the course launching, and even starting to do some like kind of private betas with the new platform for those that are interested to get in there early and test it out, give feedback, because it's super exciting.
Yeah. Definitely sign up now because again, like I want people in here. I want them testing it out. I want people learning. So with the beta coming up, just make sure that you're on the list, because if I'm able to allow everyone on that list an opportunity to go through it and check it out, then that's what I'm going to do. I just have to get an okay from the team.
Yeah, no, and that I think that's a great way to roll something like this out, at least in the beginning. Like that's the best way to get feedback is from people that are obviously interested in using it, and not just you and the team that are going through it. I saw a question about price come across. Do you have any guesstimation on what it's going to cost? I know you mentioned that like you want to make it as affordable as possible and not behind a huge paywall, which I think is awesome and admirable. Um, I'm obviously you've thought about that. Are you in a position to
So
talk about that?
part of the ongoing thing right now that's deciding certain things. Well, that's very vague. The stuff that's happening right now, right, that's dictating a few things will kind of help shape what the price is. But
Sure,
like Logan said, we want to have, free content to a certain point, and then if you really want to dive into a certain aspect of something, then you can dive deep into like a paid course,
I
paid
like
type of
that.
format.
I like that. I think that's
So nothing set in stone yet, but very, very flexible in that way.
cool. Cool. Um, Is there anything I'm missing that we didn't really touch on with the master class? Otherwise, we can kind of segue over to the monochrome stuff next.
I think that's it.
Okay, cool. But that's
Just sign up
that's
on the website.
yeah. Make sure you guys go sign up on the website. I'll have links to all the stuff below. If you
I can
are,
I can type it in here real
oh
quick.
yeah, if you want to drop it in the chat. And I just realized I haven't checked Discord, which I'm sure it has already announced who won the one giveaway that we have running. So if you guys know, feel free to shout it out. But I have to do it on my phone, otherwise it'll mess up y'all's. Or did it even work? Yeah, it did. Oh yeah. Oh, shout out, go West. Whoop,
Oh,
whoop.
Go
Go
West,
West.
nice. Oh shoot,
Are you
Go West, I think has like the
are you
most local
hoarding? Are you
points than
hoarding
anybody.
fragments?
Yeah, local point Go West is I think a lot of
Yeah.
points. So now
Yeah.
he's gonna have a fragment ahead. Oh, that's dangerous, Go West.
he's about to
Ooh.
he's about to be equipped.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, GG, go West. What team were you gonna be on, go West?
Yeah, Go West. Where are you going?
What faction are you looking at? That might be shifting. Um, um, what were the other two giveaways? Because let's get another one going while we're gonna
Yeah,
do.
we were gonna do a
Oh, and
monochrome
hey,
grunt
look
and
at
a
that. They
coin.
they go right with what we're transitioning to
Yeah.
next. Look at that. So let's start with the monochrome grunt. If you guys already filled out the form, don't worry about filling it out again, but make sure you're in the Discord. I'm gonna drop the giveaway in the Discord for you guys. If you want to transition into talking about monochrome, I'll get
Yeah.
that giveaway set up here for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I think everybody knows a little bit about monochrome, right? We've got it's our other IP. We've got our feature film. We have our comic book series. We have our sandbox projects, and we have our Avatar collection coming. Um, so our RPG game Wasteland will be done this year. It's quite the undertaking, especially now with zero point 0.8 out, kind of going back and redoing that, but it's super fun. Um, so I'm excited to get everybody to kind of partake in the story in that way in game format. Um, so that's something that's coming that's really exciting. We don't have an exact date or anything for that yet, but it's definitely coming. The other thing what we're doing is the social hub, which is going to be actually the first thing that's coming out in Sandbox for Monochrome, but it's called Monochrome Monolith. And it's still story driven, but it is a social experience where um, yeah, it's going to be so cool to explore. Monochrome also is kind of factionalized, right? You've got the hues, those that are turning color, and then the hunters who
Mm-hmm.
are still black and white. So it is factioned in that way. But the monolith is going to be just a super fun place to explore. I mean, we will have loads of fun doing hide and seek in there. Once you see the structure, we actually have a an early photo. I think that was the last thing I had sent you, Crafter, was the was that. But yeah, Lozen. So Guillermo from Hologram has been helping with the structural concepting of monoliths. So what a monolith is, right, is it's like a large structure that stands out from its surroundings, right? Typically taller, bigger than the rest. And if you follow the monochrome lore, right, from Wasteland, we're in a wasteland, right? It's very desolate, it's dystopian, it's post apocalyptic. But here in the monolith experience, you have that wasteland, but in the middle, there's this huge structure that's just this amalgamation of shipping containers and boards and metal, just making this giant livable metal treehouse, where both factions are residing. So there's this constant kind of heat. The lines are drawn on what side of town is there, is which type of thing. And so you, as the multiplayer people, get to explore that. And it's really cool because of the way it's set up. It's very, yeah. So there's a photo there. Um, Not a final photo by any means, but it's just a snippet of what you can expect. So lots of hiding, lots of exploration, and then later in the depths of the land, we will have another kind of arena PvP area where we will do hunter versus hue competitions and that sort of thing. Where with the monochromies, so we have our monochromies, which is a we have some badass art from our comic book artists. It's a generative collection, so that you can have an identity in this black and white world, and then those will also have a sandbox avatar. So much like the Titans, monochrome actually, will be first like that, but you'll be able to have the Hughes versus Hunters in PvP matches down there, and we'll do giveaways, and we have some badass equipables for them as well.
Nice. So there will be. I might have missed this, but the monochrome stuff will be coming before the Titan stuff, or do you not know that?
So they're kind of at the same time,
Okay.
right? We'll have parts kind of all firing off together. The avatars for Titans are coming soonish, as well as the torches, and the monochrome monolith is coming soonish too.
Okay.
So everything's going to kind of fire off, not a one before the other type of thing.
So this is going to
At
be
least that's the plan.
a busy a busy time for you guys for sure.
Yeah, on top of client
Yeah.
work, which we hadn't even talked about at all. But yes, this for our stuff. We have a lot going on, but it's exciting.
By the way, real quick, if you hadn't already gotten in the Discord, I dropped it. I only put 5 minutes on it, so for the giveaway. So make sure you get in there quick because it might have already timed out. I'm not sure, but get in there and enter. It hasn't timed out yet, so you still got time. Looks like there's people entering it for sure. So wow. Okay, so so the PvP stuff is gonna be held inside of the monolith or around it.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've divided the land where we've got a chamber below the land. It's a 2x1 experience, and the chamber below, who actually Brian also has been helping with that aspect of it for the terraforming decoration. But yeah, there will be a separate area down there just for those tournaments, and we'll occasionally switch it up and change that. But we wanted something in the social hub area as well. And then I don't even think it's on that that image you showed of what's coming for 2023, because it might not be for 2020. It depends. But we have another experience for Monochrome called Monochrome Mayhem, and it will be just a PvP map. It's a multiplayer. I don't even think it's on there. Yeah, it's not on there.
Yeah, I don't see it.
But it's just a PvP map um, for that type of thing. So super exciting.
Seriously, you guys are crushing it. You got so much going on, and it all seems like it's going to be so much damn fun. I'm super excited to kind of play along with all of it. As far as the monochrome stuff goes, I know. So I know that there's one movie out. I watched that. What else? What else am I missing in the monochrome world? I think I've seen you tweet some things about some comics, but I don't think I've caught any of
Yep.
that. Um, what
Yeah.
what am I missing out on? Is what I'm
So
trying to figure out.
so you watch the film, which is a good start because that's the origin. The next thing to do would be to start the comic. So we have a comic book series, which is I think the second one there. So Monochrome: The Dark Year is the comic, and story wise, it picks up right when the movie leaves off, with some same characters, and some new characters. Um, we're working on a print version of that for this year, but right now I actually need to maybe re-up the for sale on OpenSea, but we have some digital collectible NFTs that if you purchase it, you get the digital unlock code where you get to download the PDF and have a digital copy of it
Okay, nice.
for the comic. So I'll be kind of re-upping that. But yeah, so we have issue 1 out. We're working on issue 2 right now. I'm hoping, I think, and Lozen agrees, we're trying to do multiple issues this year to get that going because that is an ongoing series. And then, yeah, the games pick up within the next film. So we're working on another film. And within that film is the time period of these experiences in the sandbox. So Wasteland and Monolith
Okay,
will happen in that time period of the next film.
gotcha. So the I think I changed screens off of it. What am I looking at on the screen? There's four. You might not see it quite yet, but there's four different graphics. Monochrome. I think they're all
Oh,
the chromism.
yeah. So
What did
these
I
are so
stumble
the
across here?
chromism. Yeah, the chromism is our origin film. That's what it's called, Monochrome: The Chromism, and these are just different movie posters
Oh,
for the
okay.
film.
So they're not.
So some more conceptual. Um, yeah, if you actually go to monochromeworld.com, that is kind of our universe website where you can see everything about monochrome.
Oh, did I spell it wrong?
Can't see.
It's not doing anything. Psych. I'm gonna move off of that. Oh, now it's going. It's just taking its sweet time. It's probably my internet.
Okay.
Coming back for you guys. Monochrome World. There we go. So this is where we can find more info. I was trying to do some snooping, but I didn't find this. This looks
Oh, no worries. Yeah, so there's the menu at the top kind of lists things out by medium, and then if you scroll down, I think there's also a sidebar that shows.
so here's the Dark Year comic book
Yeah,
series. Wasteland the game. Okay, cool. Yeah.
and
Well,
then the next film. Yeah.
in the oh, I thought you were in the movie making
No,
monochrome.
no, we have a vlog, making monochrome vlog where we talk about behind the scenes and conception to delivery to like our premiere night, kind of what went into it. It's really it's fun if you like that kind of behind the scenes stuff. But we've just started kind of promoting that again.
Heck yeah.
I'm not actually in the film. Lozen's in the film a couple times, but yeah.
As far as the monochrome stuff goes, how long have you been working on this? And I guess when was the first movie shot?
We shot the film in 2018, I think. Yeah. But we've been working on monochrome for 6 or 7 years prior to that, from just the idea and writing and figuring out what we're going to do with it. And then we actually went out to West Texas and filmed a concept trailer with just a stand-in actor. Um, Went to Comic-Con type stuff with just our promotional, teaser, recruiting, fans and that sort of thing. And then eventually, you know, did a real casting, filmed the real thing, did the film festival thing, and yeah, long
Crazy.
time.
Yeah, seriously.
Mhm.
That's longer than, well, no, it's not. But I was about to say it's longer than I've been alive, but definitely not. But that feels like a lot of time and probably money that you had to put into to get this off the ground, or was it a costly adventure? I don't know what. No, not
Actually,
really.
that's one of my favorite things to like talk about is um that film. It cost us a total of like maybe $2,000.
Dang,
And then the evaluation that we got on the film was like over $250,000. So we were able, it originally was supposed to just be a short film, but like most things that Cody and I do, it snowballs. And, we ended up getting a lot of support. Like, not very many people know this too. Like one of our major clients, Cody rebranded all of like Baylor Scott and White's. Like whenever they did the acquisition, Cody created like that brand Bible for them. He's done the same thing with like other hospitals too. And so like whenever it came time to film, Cody had already had such a wonderful relationship with like the presidents of these different hospitals. He was like, "Hey, do you think I can film here?" And the president of the hospital would be like, "You know what, yeah, sure, you can film here. Do you need some buses? Do you want to film in this warehouse where we
Do you
store
want
all
some
of our stuff?
real hazmat
Yeah.
suits? I was
Do
like,
you want
fuck yeah.
hazmat
fuck yeah, I
suits?"
do.
So and that's kind of how things have always been for us, is like, we go out, and Cody is just an outstanding human anyways, and he's super talented, but there's not really anyone that's ever met him that wasn't put at ease. So like whenever it comes to asking those favors and working with people are truly like, yeah, we'll totally work with Cody.
Hmm.
Lothan's a bitch though, so like so like
Whatever.
Doubt that.
yeah, I mean that's typically how it goes though, is just making sure that we are ethical and good people, and those people will want to work with us in the long run. So
Heck yeah, and I mean it's just you've seen it over and over and over again, but it's just proof that you guys are doing what you're meant to be doing, because things are lining up and falling into place for you, and obviously being a good person and and being nice to people can have good karmic um, outcomes for you in the future. So I just think that it's the universe's way of keeping you doing what you're supposed to be doing. So that's
for
awesome.
sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Well, of course, you guys are amazing people. So it's awesome to see you guys being able to do what you love, and being very successful at it along the way. Doesn't hurt. Um, by the way, I dropped one more, the last giveaway into the Discord, FYI everybody. So I'll get the link in there one more time for you guys. If you have filled out the form, you don't need to fill out it again, but there's the form again. And we are now giving away the coin, and Gigi Hoddle Hill for winning herself a
Oh my
grunt,
gosh.
which I think
All
I
it.
think I
Nice.
caught that maybe she already has one or something, but um
Oh, is that what that was? I was like, "Oh, I can give you a grunt to give away?" Okay.
Yeah, I think she's gonna do a giveaway on their stream. Yeah.
Perfect. That's awesome. But yeah, GG. And there is one more in there for you guys, so make sure you go enter that last giveaway for a monochrome coin, right?
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
coin. What's the coin for?
So the coin is so we did a coin back when we were kind of doing coin collections, all the streamers were, to kind of collect all the coins, right? That's what coins are for. But there'll be a lot of cool monochrome perks with holding one of those that are actually coming out this year. We've got same thing with a grunt, right? If you hold either one of those, there's some cool, it might be an airdrop one time for something you can use, or early access to something like the monochromies, right? You get to go first and mint first. So we're excited for those.
Heck yeah. That's one thing I really love about what blockchain. I mean, I'm sure it's probably doable before, but it makes it really easy to give back to holders of certain things because
Yep.
it's, I mean, it's just it's there. Like you have it or you don't, and it's verified, and you can continue to circle back to things and add more value, depending on what you want to do. So that's cool. So that's good beans too. You want grunts and you want coins,
Yep.
or maybe not plural, or maybe plural.
Maybe.
I'm fishing, seeing if I can get a reaction.
They'll have the grunt has different perks than the coin, and then they share some.
Okay.
Yep.
Um, I lost my train of thought. Where was I going? Oh, so we talked about. I mean, we talked about a lot of things. Are we missing? No, we covered all the things that were on the slide. There was one more thing that I saw. Am I missing anything? Help me out here. Have
I
we
think
have we covered the big stuff at least?
I think so. That's the monochromies on the bottom, which we talked about those. So that will be coming up pretty quickly too, as far as being able to mint monochrome and play as an avatar. And oh, the other thing on there is the next film that we mentioned, but we are working on the sequel to
Mm-hmm.
the Chromism, which is Mask of the First. So we have that script done, and we're in pre-production, kind of breaking down for costs and locations and all of that.
Okay.
But
Cool.
we're thinking about ways to tie in, like cross that Web3 to Web2 back the other direction, and maybe have some holders or do contests and stuff where once we do start filming, we can then reward the Web3 holders by using them in the Web2 film. And if they want to be extras in the film or something, come and,
Uh huh.
you know,
That's fun.
participate.
I like
Yeah.
I like that. Same actors? Question came through from Bjorn.
Um,
Yeah.
some of the same actors,
Some
yeah.
of the same actors. It takes place a little over a year after the first film, so they'll have aged as they have in the real world. Anyway, since it's been a couple years, but
And you said that you're in.
Maybe they had babies.
yeah, they might have had all
They
had
might have
babies
had
and
babies.
been in big movies since then. Like who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah, we have some really good people.
some interesting things now.
That, that was actually what I was wondering about. I was like, have the guy any of them gone on to do anything that anyone would
Yeah.
know? Possibly.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Andre, I mean, he's been in like King Kong and
Okay.
some
gosh, I don't
law
even know what
shows. I
all.
don't like some of the law, not SVU, but like some of the detective police shows.
Mhm.
But yeah, King Kong, and I don't know. He's always posting photos of him with celebrities in Hollywood, and
Yeah, I
He's an
think it was like
amazing
Spike
person.
Lee the other day.
You just can't
And then we
not
have,
smile.
yeah, Andre is just, he's wonderful to work with. And then I think like one of our actors, they do a lot of like anime voiceover, and there are a lot of animated series voices. One of them's a Grammy artist.
Okay.
Um, there's we've got a lot of
You
talent.
got talent in the pool.
Yeah, so that part's really cool. And then seeing the new characters and the new factions and stuff that we're bringing, that'll be interesting. But yeah, maybe there's babies.
Mm.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know the baby reference. I'm confused, but maybe there is.
Maybe there's babies.
Maybe.
How many babies? Beanie Babies?
I don't
Mm,
know.
we'll have to
Because we
see.
don't even know if the babies are there. We're just saying, like, maybe there could be babies.
Yeah, we'll have to read the comic, and
Okay,
it'll make a
comic
little more sense if you read the comic. Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I forgot about that until you brought it up. Is the comic is available on OpenSea and stuff? Yeah, like that's
Yeah,
it's an
let me
NFT.
get the link. Yeah, it's we have a
Stormy's
digital
coughing.
what?
I don't know if you can hear Stormy like hacking a hairball up
Oh
over
no,
here.
I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, let me get that link. I need to reactivate those. But yeah, we have a digital like a collectible animation graphic that will unlock the digital version. Super pumped for the monochrome stuff.
Yeah, I can't believe how much stuff you guys have going on. It's kind of insane. Um, at least,
So we're very dependent on our teammates.
yeah, no kidding. It definitely helps to have a team for sure, I bet.
Yeah.
Or multiple hands or something. Um, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys do it. Um,
Our teammates.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, link is being worked on, being coming. Can
Yeah, I'll
you
get the link.
please also drop that in the Discord,
Yep.
so that I have that available. For links in the bottom. I am gonna say that we gotta start wrapping things up here. Is there okay, we have the giveaway, which I'm waiting to announce. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug last minute here? We've obviously talked about a lot, but just kind of recap on everything, and then we will go on our merry ways into the metaverse.
Yeah. I would just to recap like the high level things of what we talked about for the IPs. Holy crap! There's Frenemy. We're about to just plug Frenemy
Oh
too.
my
This is perfect
gosh.
timing.
Nice.
So Tempest IP wise, right? Stay tuned for the Titan Reign stuff. Um, Again, it's the avatars, it's the crafting, it's the tournaments, it's everything that I think we all love about the sandbox and the space and gaming, and we tried to do it all in one to tell a cool origin story of the Tempest brand. So that's coming. The monochrome stuff, we've got the monochromies as the avatars, we have the social hub, we have the RPG game, we have the comics, and we'll be starting the next film. So that's super exciting. Masterclass is being revamped. If you want to sign up for beta, you can do that on the website, which is super fun. Yeah, Lucid. We're working on Lucid and some of our other games too, like Clear, and that was in the last season. The first-person shooter zombie game. We'll be fixing that as soon as it decides to be nice to me. Yeah, but that aside, plugging some of the other stuff we haven't talked about, which is our
Please.
fantastic clientele.
I know we didn't even have
Frenemy,
time for all of this, but yeah.
Yeah. So Frenemy being one of them, we're so fortunate enough to have some just badass clients. Like we get to work with some really cool artists and teams and storytellers for a job, right? This is what we do. And Frenemy being one of those, as a just exceptional human being and amazing artist. And I think some of you have seen us teasing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if you haven't, follow Play Imaginarium on Twitter to stay up to date on that. But we're working with Frenemy. It is a game maker fun project. It is based on his characters and his art and stories and stuff that he's done for Frenemy. I mean, post how many years you've been doing this, but travel the world, tagging, doing murals all over the world, and so we get to translate that into voxel form. But we will be starting a stream series with Frenemy, just like we've done with Dizzy Dragons in the past, and we've just recently done stuff with Warp Sound as well. But we'll be doing some really cool Frenemy Imaginarium streams with some giveaways and that sort of thing. So definitely stay tuned for that. So about 20 years, Frenemy says, yeah. So long time, passionate.
Damn, I would love to talk to you about your your journey through everything frenemy.
Yeah,
That would be a
that's what I
good
was just
Oh,
thinking.
conversation.
I see
Like,
that.
you
Yeah.
should have Frenemy on because Frenemy is also like an Austenite. So
Okay. Dope.
I believe Frenemy is in Malaysia right now, but yeah, that's where I originally came across Frenemy's work. Was just kind of we all kind of uh, associated around the same groups, and yeah, I knew that he was in music, but I had seen like a lot of his graffiti and a lot of his character development, and it was so interesting to me. It's been over 10 years. And his art just kind of stuck with me. And I guess it was like last year, Seb said something like, I'd really like to see more street artists, or just like actual authentic artists in the space. And like the first place my head went was Frenemy. So then it took me probably like 6 months to work up the courage to actually say something to him. Um, and I was fortunate enough to be greeted with open arms, and that's a really nice feeling coming from like Web2 world and artists and stuff. Like whenever you have a legitimate artist, a legitimate creator that's willing to trust you to build things, like that's pretty special. So we form pretty tight bonds with all of our clients. But yeah, they become pieces of us.
Definitely, which
Yeah.
I think helps. Just obviously, you guys build for them and with them, and just it becomes a family more than a, I don't know what the word is. Family is a good word though.
Job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have Imaginarium with Frenemy that we're working on, and Warp Sound. Obviously, we mentioned them. We're working on a social hub for them,
Yep.
which we'll be doing more streams.
I still haven't
Kind of
checked
sneak
out my
peeks of that.
avatar. I need to do that.
Oh
Your
yeah, you
warped on
should.
Avatar?
Yeah, I haven't. I have one. Well, I had like three. Got rid of a couple, but I still have one, and I need to check it out.
Nice. Yeah, we just did that bridge collection that got finalized and published last week. Avatars, so that's pretty sweet. We have a social hub coming up, and they're badass as well. Such a great team, and the tech and stuff with that. Like your 2D NFT can play music that's AI generated and it's custom just for that.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have a sandbox avatar, and all their characters are live streaming YouTube videos 24/7. And now the Nar heart, the bunny one, you can actually interact with your phone to change the live music. If you wanted to robotify the music or change the song, you can vote. And the
That's
tech is
cool.
sweet. The team is amazing, and yeah, so that's super fun. And then we're
Jeff
wrapping
is
up a bunch of
wild. Yeah.
what
The
Jeff.
creative director, Jeff, I mean, he's just such a phenomenal person to work with. He comes from the same background that we do, and so he's worked with Rihanna and like a lot of really major stars, and he kind of has like this really interesting aesthetic that's been fun to kind of dive into with them and their community. But yeah, seriously, Jeff from Rug Radio. He's on Rug Radio too. He is just such a cool person to work with.
Definitely. That'd be fun to have him on the show too.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's if you can get Jeff on your show, woo, you're in for a treat.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. Give you some
So, yeah.
recommendations.
So some great stuff. We've got some upcoming projects that are really exciting that we can't talk about yet, but a lot of really cool things in the work, a lot of pitches in the work. And then we're wrapping up projects too. So like our Dizzy Dragon build is in the very final stages, and that just turned out incredible.
Cool.
I can't wait for you guys to be able to run around in there. We did a pack a game like early on that's wrapping up for Alpacadabras called Picastrophe. That's wrapping up. And then the Mutant Cat Social Hub is also.
Oh yeah, that was the one I just saw you guys on a Twitter space with or something. I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Mutant Cat. So a lot of new projects, a lot of wrapping up, and a lot of kind of in the middle projects. So it's exciting.
Cool.
And we have another Avatar project, I think, releasing whenever we're in New York next week. So.
Yep.
There's that too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they've announced stuff, so I can't. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we don't know whose project. It's anybody's Avatar project.
It could be anyone.
It could be anyone.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But yeah, that's another thing. I guess the very last thing is we've got a couple events coming up that we'll be attending to network, meet with clients, potential clients. So Loza and I will be in New York next week.
Nice.
For NFT NYC, really fast. Like there one day and then leaving the next day, just fast.
And then we'll be in Austin for a week. I think it's like April.
Last week for Consensus.
Yeah.
Nice.
April 26th through the 28th. Yeah, we'll be in Austin doing stuff there.
Maybe I'll actually be able to meet up with you this time. Oh, nice.
Yes. Sure. Jeff will have a talk too at Consensus. So
okay.
Good stuff.
Cool. Nice. Is that everything? I don't want to cut you off because you're on a roll. and you guys have so much stuff. It's crazy.
We'll be in at Lisbon in June for non-fungible conference.
Nice. And that's it.
So I posted that link. That's all the events for now. We're tired.
For now.
But I posted the link for the digital comic, and I think I did it right. But I put some more for sale on there. But yeah, that's the cool animated kind of tease of the graphic novel or the comic book. And then once you mint it, you'll be able to have the link to download the PDF. It should still work. If it doesn't work, let me know and I'll send it to you.
Hell yeah. Oh, I like the little tease trailer thing.
Yeah.
That's super cool. All right. You guys are tired. I'm tired. Chat's not tired because chat's crazy and is on Twitch all day, every day. And I love it. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for coming on and hanging out and giving us all of this awesome information, spilling some beans along the way, doing some giveaways. Speaking of giveaways, before we wrap it up, I better double check, but I'm pretty sure it was Mr. Furious. Yes. GG, Mr. Furious, on winning yourself that coin. If you guys, whoever won today, who was it? Go West, Hodl, and Mr. Furious, I will be getting the information over to these guys, and they will get that whatever you won sent over to you. So congrats on winning those. And if you're catching the replay, this is why you show up to the live show, so you can win fun stuff. But if you are catching the replay, do the like, subscribe, comment stuff. Appreciate it. Helps get the show out there. Share it with your friends, all that fun stuff. And we will see you guys we'll see chat and everyone who watches the show on the next one. We'll see these guys on another episode, I'm sure, whenever we get closer to releasing any of the multiple things that they have in the works that are all super exciting. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and we'll catch you later. I am tired too.
Thanks, chat.
I'm gonna go
Thanks
to
for tuning in, everyone.
yeah. I'm gonna go to the loading screen. Let me know who I should raid. Peace, y'all.